Hello again and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your hosts, as per frickin' usual, Bob, Cory, and Todd. Cory, how are you?
Oh, hello.
Todd.
Well, that doesn't really answer the question. I'm fantastic,
sorry.
buddy. Sorry. You know what? I always do think about that, and I go on and on with hellos and heys, how are yas, and I don't answer your actual question. So I apologize for that. I'm doing good, buddy. I really wanted to draw that one out, just so, in case you didn't pick up on that. As you can see, I'm still going.
Todd, how are you?
Maxing and relaxing, brother. Maxing and relaxing. How are you, man?
I'm feeling much better now. It has been a rough week with some sort of bug that I caught, which no one really gives a shit about, and we don't need to talk about, but it's been...
Get the gout?
Something fierce. I've been popping those cherry pills. Not doing the job.
So being the youngest guy,
new pairs of shoes.
Being the youngest guy in the show, you have to ask: Are cherry pills something for gout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
either,
only
Cory.
know that because
I wouldn't know.
I
way,
only know
way
that
too far away
because
from that stuff.
a good friend of ours that Todd and I worked with, he and I both worked for Todd at one point, had dealt with it, and that's what he did whenever it flared up. Cherry pills.
Speaking of the gout,
Are cherry flavored pills? Real cherries? Like Bing cherries? Traverse City cherries?
Dude, there's a deeper Google search in your future, I see, about these cherry pills. Sorry, Cory, go ahead.
oh no! Speaking of the gout,
Yeah.
Krabby was supposed to be here with us, and he's
Yes, so this is a second week in a row. We've had a guest. James Krabby Pappas is supposed to be a guest this week. It turned out that he had a conflict, but he is looking and needed to push, but he is looking at possibly the 8th of March to come on the show. But he reached out to multiple members of the show, deeply apologetic, wished he could have been here, and
I know.
we do expect him to come on the show soon.
And understandable why he couldn't be here tonight. So
Yeah.
he's got to take care of the family.
So let's cross our fingers that the third time is the charm, and that next week, girl dinner actually
Shows up.
Yeah, it doesn't cancel.
Like they've been putting the ideas for the promo, man. I've been looking, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I sent him an audio message.
I heard.
I have not checked to see if we got a list of instructions, but hopefully that'll happen this week. But life gets in the way. They've got businesses and kids to deal with, and
Bah.
I should have counted on that from Todd. Whatever.
Bah.
Podcast always comes first.
Speaking of the podcast, if you're new to it, thank you for joining. If you want to check us out each and every week, we'll be right back here every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also go back and listen to previous episodes out in any of the streaming services, wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also go out to YouTube and watch us out there, watch our smiling, beautiful faces every week, and give us a like and subscribe.
Please.
Shocker.
And if you want it, no.
Where have you been, Todd?
Shocker.
But if you would like to reach out to us, you can feel free to email us at Schnozzcast
That's
at
right,
gmail.com.
Schnozzcast at gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. Would be another excellent way to get a hold of us. And follow us on
Or
Instagram.
you can slap us on the bum at Grindr.
You could do that. Is there like a button you hit on your phone for a bum slap?
I think so.
Is like the old
think-
school
you
poke.
took-
I think you have to-
Todd's backtracking now. He was like, "Oh shit!" I gave away the fact that I know how Grindr works. Oh yeah, no. From what I've heard, there is some sort of button on there that you can press. I wouldn't know. Never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm on there every day, Cory. Every day.
I know you are, buddy. I troll your profile.
Speaking of trolling profiles, I had a quick shout out to give. And we're not sponsored by anybody. We don't know this person, but I thought I would mention it just because it was in the last 24 hours. Happened to run across on Instagram this comedian whose name is Ian Carmel with a K. I'd never heard of him before.
Caramel or Carmel?
Carmel.
Wait, okay, hang on. We're switching up too much now.
Like the town in California, Carmel, California.
I call it caramel.
Not familiar? So I'll spell it for you.
Never
if
been
that helps. Karmel.
Okay, so not like
caramel.
No, Carmel.
So not like Mount Carmel.
Which is a C, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, this is with a K.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like that, except with a K.
That's confusing, but
I think
like Carpathian.
He should probably change his name.
So this guy I happened to run across, and it just a couple of short reels, and I'm like, okay, this guy looks well. He's got a free special up on YouTube, so I happened to watch it. Loved it. We're not, obviously I thought for a minute, like, we should reach out to this guy and see if we can get him on the show. But he wasn't playing to like a 30-seat comedy club. It was like, it was like a state theater or a Fillmore level club. So this guy's obviously somebody. I'm like, I'd never heard of him before. So anyway, if you're looking for, a new comedian, if you're into that kind of shit, want somebody new to check out, go out to YouTube and give him a try.
What's his name again?
Ian Carmel with a K.
Ian Caramel with a K.
Damn it. Perfect. What else, boys? You want to jump right into sports and talk about a little?
Nope. I want to tell you what I did today. What I had for breakfast, Bob.
Oh, do you want to set up the backstory for anybody who might be new to the show and maybe didn't catch what you're talking about? No context.
I have no idea what the setup is. Oh, this wasn't hitched to drunk shopping, was it?
No, it was not. It was hitched to time travel nostalgia, in which we're talking about our favorite breakfast cereals.
Top 5?
It might have been top 5. And you recommended to me that because you said you loved Captain Crunch Berries.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never tried them. And you're like, you need to go try that. And so I did. And I poured this stuff on top of it, Arizona peach hard iced tea. And it was...
And that's gross.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
But
that's an understatement.
But as a quid pro quo,
yes.
One of the cereals that both Cory and I named was Cracklin' Oat Bran, and you had never had that.
I had not, but today I had it. And were you guys bitching about it or saying it was no? Because I remember your parents didn't buy you sugary cereals as a kid, so Cracklin' Oat Bran was your staple, right?
No, I'd never had Cracklin' Oat Bran. They used to buy like fiber checks and fiber one and anything with a fiber in it. Lots of brand. Fiber brand checks, fiber checks.
Cracklin' Oat Bran has tons of fiber in it.
Brand fiber checks. but when I got a job and was able to buy whatever cereal I wanted, happened to stumble across this shit, and I think I was mesmerized by the fact that it was like $11.50 a box, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, it's got to be for $11.50. It's got to be amazing.
Yep.
So I got it, and obviously I thought that it was because I put it in my top 5, and so did Cory. But so you tried it. What do you think?
And I really, what a freaking awesome cereal. The only thing that's really odd about it is I'm an extra milk guy in my bowls of cereal, and so I put like a lot of milk in there.
Yeah.
And I was super thrilled that it does not get soggy. It's like whatever machine they use, the same machine they use to like crush coal into diamonds, they used to make Cracklin' Oat Bran, because it is so,
or to make like ceiling tiles for gymnasiums.
It's like 10,000 pounds per square centimeter of freaking. I got to start using metric since we're having girl dinner on. But oh my gosh. But I'm like, I got all this extra milk, and I'm like scooping up more and more milk out of the bowl. I had to go get the carton of milk out of the fridge and have a side shot of milk between every bite. But I love the shit out of that stuff. That is the bomb.
Why? Yeah, you could literally let that sit in the bowl of milk for about a day and a half, and come back, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is the perfect consistency now."
Yeah, it's just brown milk now.
Yeah, then it would still be crunchy, but not as crunchy as when you first put it there a day and a half ago.
Yeah. If you got like a loose filling or a cap that needs to be adjusted, do not eat Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Don't even look at it.
Don't stare Cracklin' Oat Bran in the face.
Because
I just got my brand new tooth. I got to try my brand new tooth out on it. I just did that. It was
You're fucking lucky, dude.
Freaking tastic.
You are lucky.
That was a bold move, sir. I had to stop eating Cracklin' Oat Bran until I actually got my all my fake chompers put in because it was getting sketchy there near the end, and Cracklin' Oat Bran would have definitely knocked most of my teeth out.
Bran.
I would have been eating cereal and teeth.
I don't know where it's been all my life, but that is one hell of a box of cereal.
Yeah, the old way that if you had a loose tooth, they would tie a string around it and then tie the other end of the string to the doorknob and then jerk the door open. Like, you don't need to do that anymore.
Just here's a handful of Cracklin' Oat Bran. That tooth is coming right out.
That's right.
You're probably going to swallow it, but it'll be out.
It'll come out eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just put but then you got to tell them like, no, you could just put one piece of Cracklin' Oat Bran under your pillow and same thing as a tooth.
I guess.
Yeah, you'll get your money from the Cracklin' Oat Bran fairy.
Here's a box of cereal under your pillow.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that? Because obviously it's still because it's so expensive for a normal size box of cereal, but people still love it because they still make it. I mean, obviously, us idiots are buying it.
And mind you, too, Cracklin' Oat Bran is not like a family size. It's actually smaller than a normal box of cereal.
Right.
And, it was a tiny box.
That was going to be my point is, why don't they make a family size box of it? I would buy it.
Because then it would cost
because it'd be $25.
I would buy it still. Because right as it stands, if either of my children happen to be here and they find out there's a box of crack, I literally have to hide it or eat it like while they're asleep to make sure that I get the adequate amount of it.
Well, see, and there you go too. That's the other thing. I don't know how you're not waking them up if they're sleeping and you pour yourself a bowl of Cracklin' Oat Bran. I don't care where you're at in the house. You would probably have to go outside in the garage and eat that. Because the second you take a bite into that cereal,
I'm not above that.
I expect Jack and Cecilia to be like, "Yo, Dad's eating the Cracklin' Oat Bran," and run right down the stairs.
I'll drive down the block and go park at the park
at Howard.
Yeah, and eat my cereal, whatever it takes, Cory. Because a normal cereal bowl, like you're having maybe 3 bowls of that max. That's it.
3 bowls.
It's gone. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying?
Oh yeah, because of the size of the box. I was gonna say you can only eat about a cup and a half of that stuff because your jaws get tired. I was legit full.
I was gonna say, Todd, because I was thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, holy shit! You sit down and eat 3 bowls of that? I'm like, your stomach would be cement.
My kid would sit there and eat if I had a bowl. And then later on, I'd hear him in the kitchen getting one, and I'm like, okay, he's having a bowl. Turns out he's having 2, and there's none left.
Because he was a growing kid.
It's 2 bowls of that. You just got done saying.
But again, back when I was Jack's age, I could put away a couple bowls of it. But now, one.
Yeah.
Or like Todd even said, maybe a cup.
I'm like, my jaw was exhausted just from frickin' generating the force required to chew the stuff. It was scrumptious, but it was hard on the body, man. I had a good freaking jaw workout.
You're gonna have a good butthole workout too in a little bit. That's what's coming next, buddy.
Hard on the colon.
Yeah, cleans you right out.
Well, I'm disappointed, man. I thought we were gonna get a little, payback, and you're gonna have a bowl on the air on the show. But
I can do that. I'm sorry. It's funny. I misremembered, and I thought that you were bitching about it. I thought that was your staple. I was gonna call you a country club bitch for freaking hating on Cracklin' Oat Bran. I was eating it, going, I can't believe Bob didn't like this stuff.
Why would you have bought it to eat it if I hated it? What would have been the motivation for you to even buy it yourself at all?
Because you do shit like that to me all the time, Bob. You're always hating on me.
What? I had already eaten your Crunchberry recommendation.
Because that's delicious.
You think that this is Todd forgetting about the entire reason why. All he knew was buy Cracklin' Oat Bran. He didn't know why.
Exactly.
Forgot what we did. Forgot what we promised. Forgot what we talked about.
You got me.
And now he's going to play dumb like, you do that shit to me all the time. I'm like, I've never done that to you.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic cereal.
It is fantastic.
Glad you were able to try it, and glad you enjoy it.
I'm going to eat it every day from now on.
I'm glad it's not regional and not like a Midwest thing. Like Todd was able to get it. I wonder if the Canucks are able to get it.
Well, they do this correct. It's who makes it?
It's who makes it? Is it Post or Kellogg's?
General Mills.
Hang on. I sent you a picture of it, didn't I?
Yeah, Kellogg.
Kellogg does?
Kellogg's.
Yeah. Kellogg's. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so Kellogg's is pretty nationwide.
Okay.
I'll bet it's $20 in Alaska though.
Oh, that shit's expensive in Alaska. Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on here, but when I went to go look up to see who it was made by,
yeah,
on Amazon it is $20.75, and Food Service Depot, which I don't know where they're out of, it's $84.83.
$84
and 83
Hawaii
cents
per box.
Yeah,
must be out of Hawaii.
I mean, I guess if you lived in Hawaii or Alaska,
holy shit!
and there was
oh
shit
no,
that
never
you
mind.
couldn't
Sorry,
get.
it's 10 per case. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay, so $8
Yeah,
something.
so $8.
That's
what we paid.
That's what we pay.
Yeah. For a 16-ounce box.
Now, Cory, have you ever gone out and bought more than one box at a time? Because you're like, there's not enough here.
No, God, no. You bought 3 at once?
Yeah. I got tired of,
you also
again, losing 2 out of 3 bowls to my children.
Well, I don't have that issue, so.
Yeah.
Is it possible for it to go stale?
That was my next
so
point.
what mineral does it turn into?
Todd, you can leave that outside on a 98-degree day. Come back 4 days later. It's probably going to just taste better.
I'm going to paraphrase Jerry Seinfeld and say, you can't go stale if it was never fresh.
Oh, yeah. There's no... Dude, as a matter of fact, there's a bunch of dead bodies on Everest that we all know of, that people perish. And you can go on to those bodies and look in their bags. They have Crackle and Oat Bran that you can still grab and eat, even after they've been there for 15 years. Doesn't go bad. That's a true story too.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Because you heard it here at the Schnozzcast.
Love that. Facts.
When I was climbing Everest, that's what I had to do to keep myself alive.
You and your Sherpa Jimmy.
You can also.
It's funny that was what kept you alive.
You can also warm them up in a fire and put them in your flip flops and keep your feet real nice and warm.
Oh, they're like that pressed fire starter material.
Yeah, that's basically what you're eating.
Yeah, any of those machines that once a tree gets chopped down, they press it all down and they make toothpicks out of it. That I feel it's the same process here.
What up, Gina?
Gina,
oh
hello.
Hey, Gina. All right, so we got that out of the way, Todd.
Yeah, and it was delicious. Thank you very much.
No problem. What are you drinking today that's non-alcoholic?
I'm drinking that Heineken Zero, baby. That is one of the best NAs around. Crisp and clean and no caffeine.
I feel like he's not going to be singing the praises of that drink after next Saturday. He's going to forget all about it.
Nope.
Yeah, so you got 1 week left, Todd.
1 week.
Yep. And I'm sure it's been, cathartic. I'm sure it's been, a good thing for your system to take a break from that.
I know. My body doesn't know what to do. What the hell's going on?
Thank you. But it really, it really sends the wrong message, though, every time you keep doing a countdown with how long you got left before you have to keep doing this shit.
The zero doesn't smell as skunky, Gina.
I can't see the chat.
There's actually an interesting story about that.
It sounds
one
like
of my
he's talking about
favorite
something
beers.
dirty.
No. She's asked if it smells skunky, and I said it doesn't smell as skunky the NA version. But this is a rumor. I haven't verified it, but one of my favorite beers is Heineken Special Dark, right. And somebody told me once that beer is exactly the same as the regular Heineken in the green bottle, except they put that caramel or whatever Ian's name is, coloring in it, and that mutes the smell, and that way you don't get that skunky smell, and it tastes fabulous. So maybe that's the deal.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
What are you drinking tonight, Cory?
I went back to the old hard sodas. It sounds like we're going to be making a trip to Nick's house after this. So rather than going up to Ray's, I decided to buy a case of the hard sodas. So I had
Smart move.
a couple more than just one or two of the big ass Mountain Dew Code Reds, which again are amazing. But
yeah, they are. I'm rocking the fantastic cereal topper Arizona Peach Hard Iced Tea, and we got Fireball for a shot here. So let's do one.
Todd, pour yourself up some NA Crown and
pour yourself an invisible shot. Gina and anybody else out in the room, pour yourself a shot of your favorite libation and join us. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cilantro.
Oh, that was a big one. Yeah, that was
That's
a
the
big one.
good stuff.
Yeah. It was a big one.
Oh. Yikes.
That's what she said.
I was trying to get that out, but I couldn't because I didn't want to throw up Fireball.
That's why I whispered it.
Woo.
That's the best I could do.
That's what she said.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. I didn't realize these shot glasses were
No,
that big.
that's okay.
Speaking of big shot glasses, guess whose shot glass it is?
Yeah, it's a little faded. That's what happens when you put it in the dishwasher. But
I'll send you a new one. I only have 200 or 300 of them left.
the Krosky Dillon
Crosby
wedding.
Dillon, 2005.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a good year for Krosky Dillon's.
It was a good year. That's a Ray Charles song, isn't it? He sings it with Willie Nelson.
No, you're thinking
Krosky
about
Dillon?
Sinatra and
No, it was a good year.
yeah, it was a very good year. That was Sinatra.
Yeah. And Willie Nelson, then Willie Nelson and Ray Charles covered it.
Oh, well, if you're talking about cover versions, I'm sure it was covered by a whole shitload of people.
Well, I wasn't talking about covered versions. I was just talking about the best version, Bob.
Oh, I was supposed to guess that from your lack of explanation. Got it. Should we move here into sports, folks? I wasn't part of the production meeting this week, so I don't know.
We can or you don't have to. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, let's do it.
90-second source.
Raspberry White Claw is all I have. It sounds like a horrible situation.
90-second source.
There we go. All right. Who is taking the lead on this? Because I feel like we all had some feelings about, at least about the NHL and the Four Nations tournament.
The Goonery.
I gave you credit, Todd. You
I know.
coined a particular phrase for that, and it was goonsmanship.
Yes.
Which, bravo, sir. I mean, coining a phrase is not easy, and I gave you all the credit for that.
Thank you so much. Push a button.
For what? What button do you want me to push?
The coin phrasing button.
Okay, hold on. I got a button for you, then.
Even their wieners.
There, that's what you get.
There you go.
I always keep forgetting Cory's got a secret button. Over
I got a couple secret buttons.
Yep.
That's perfect.
It's right by the prostate.
Ooh, tickle the old prostate.
Yeah, some call it the on switch.
I call it the getting off switch.
So do we all watch the Four Nations thing?
I did.
Do you want to, Cory? Can you give a quick for folks who may be listening who don't follow NHL and don't understand what the Four Nations tournament is?
It was something new they did this year. The NHL did. They basically took all the what they considered the best players from the U.S., Canada, Finland, and Switzerland, and they all played a round robin tournament to figure out who the best out of the 4 nations were. U.S. and Canada came down to the final game. Unfortunately, Canada took the entire thing. It was a bit sad.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, trust me, I wasn't happy with it. But it was really cool, and apparently this struck a bigger chord than any past NHL All-Star game ever has. And
yeah,
I think
because it was like an actual game.
These guys, like, they were actually playing. There was no holding back. There
checking, fighting.
It wasn't 13-14 at the end of East versus West, or however they break the conferences down now.
Right.
These guys were actually playing with heart and wanted to win. And to me, that's way better hockey than, the skills competition and all that. That's cool and fun for the players to do, and to watch every now and again. Some guys will break some insane records. But past that, we know you're a great player. But these were the best of the best players from those countries, and some guys had to play against some of their own teammates, and that's a tough thing to do at that level. But they did it, and like I said, everyone went out there and like Todd said with the goonsmanship, I don't think people really expected to see that kind of intensity, and especially fights the way that they were going down between between U.S. and Canada, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great tournament, and apparently there's already talks about doing one for next year. So hopefully they continue on with it. Again, to me, I'm one of those people. I thought it was way better than the All-Star game, and I'd rather see more tournaments like that than the All-Star game. So
yeah.
I agree. High quality hockey. I thought the level of play was as good as a regular matchup in the NHL. I thought the game, the play was crisp and really good. And like I said, it was. I was stunned when I saw USA on jerseys and Finland, and then a fight break out. I had no idea what the hell was going on.
I thought the play was it was different than they had some great defensemen, right? The best defensemen in the NHL, basically. But it was so fast. There were so many breakaways and takeaways, 2-on-1s, odd man rushes. There were so many of them. It was not like any other game that I'd seen. Like you're not going to see that in an NHL All-Star game because there's no checking. And it's really kind of just for show.
Guys are just there to play and have a good time, and which again, that's all fine and dandy. But no one's really going to watch that game, with any sort of seriousness. This was to me was Olympic hockey at the next level.
Yeah.
Because there was the intensity of the fighting and checking and the heart that the guys were playing with. Mm-hmm. Even in the Olympics, like the Olympics really kind of they downplay that, and there's a fight here and there. Well, let's not try to do that. Checking, if you want, even if you have a guy lined up cleanly, you should probably back off at the last second. And this was you go out there and you play hockey, and I thought it was absolutely awesome. And one of the stats I heard today during the unfortunate loss that the Wings took from the Minnesota Wild. So Dylan Larkin was on Team USA. The Red Wings have the #1 power play in the NHL.
I thought they were number 3 as of the Wild game tonight, but maybe.
You could be right.
Okay,
but either way, they're
still
very
amazing.
very very high up there in the NHL, and even for the 4 Nations game, he was on the 3rd line of the power play. That's the type of talent they had in individual players that they're like, oh, Dylan Larkin, your team's one of the best at scoring on a power play. Well, on this team, you're not the best.
Yeah,
and he went down to the 3rd line for their power play. So that just goes to show you the amount of talent that they pull from all these different teams to put on these different countries. So Yeah, I thought it was spectacular, and I hope to see it again next year.
The fact that they had a couple of injuries, Matthew Tkachuk and what was the guy's name? McAvoy.
Yeah, so we didn't get to watch it on Thursday together, but I will say the Tkachuk brothers can't stand them.
Can't stand them
whatsoever.
Can't stand ya.
But guess what?
But I also can't stand Brad Marchand, so it evened itself out for the last game.
But on Team USA, when the Tkachuk brothers were kicking the shit out of people, I'm like, yep, gotta love them right now.
Yeah, right now.
I'm like, they're doing what they need to do.
This game is over.
Yeah, going back to hating them, but Brad Marchand too. But
I think my direct quote to you was, "I will go right back to hoping that they contract gonorrhea immediately."
Yes, and I went with syphilis.
Wow.
So take that for what you will. I mean, one of those is a little more serious.
Haters gonna hate,
but I won't say which one it is.
Which one do you have?
Sorry.
What? Nothing.
Yeah,
just kidding.
I got what you're doing.
Gina, you can do a shot at home. Just do one with us. Come on.
Yeah, we can't see you. Just say you are. Just lie to us.
I was saying
everyone else does.
If you lie to us right now and say you're doing another shot, I'll pour one for Bob and I right now.
All right. There you have it.
There you go.
Yep. She must have had to toddle out to the bathroom or something. So, Todd, any other sports news that you wanted to share?
Yeah, a couple things really quick. They've been printing a little bit more scuttlebutt on this whole Luka Doncic trade, and it turns out one of the reasons why Dallas got rid of literally one of the best players in the game is because they don't like the fact that during the offseason, dude doesn't take care of his body, doesn't stay in shape, and he likes to have a hoagie now and again and some donuts and all those good things. Maybe some crackling oat bran for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they want somebody who is more Kobe-esque, really focused on being in peak tip-top shape. Again, the reason why LeBron's still playing at 40 years old is he takes really, really good care of his body in the offseason. And I guess the scuttlebutt is Luka, great talent, but they don't know how long he's going to last because he likes to balloon up a little bit during the offseason. So that is the scuttlebutt on that. And then you guys, everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge Michigan fan, but I got to give it up to Tom Izzo and Sparty for beating the 12th ranked Wolverines yesterday in an amazing game where Sparty just looked like the real deal. I think if they play like that, they can beat probably anybody in the tournament. So that's my sports for the week. There you have it. Basketball and more basketball for me this week.
Excellent, sir. I think I sent you something on Instagram, Todd. I don't know if you saw it or not. But I think it was sports related. I don't know if it would have a chance to make it into this episode or not. But
I forgot what it was. I did. I saw you send it to me, and I remember.
Oh, I can tell you what it was. It was.
Tell me.
It was Mike McHugh and the one of the greatest curling shots ever. This podcast, we have an affinity for curling. We've talked about this before.
Yep. I mean, I'm a fan.
Yeah. I don't know what you could do to share it there.
Can you send it? Can you send it to me and I see if I can bring it up?
If I copy the link and text it to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. It's from Instagram.
That's
that matters, but all right, hold on.
Play the music.
Hold on.
Gina did say shots.
What music?
So.
All right, there you go, Cory. She said shots, but she didn't say I did a shot.
That's good enough for me.
Wow.
There you go.
Cory's giving you a lot of leeway, Gina.
Leeway.
Just so you know. Don't fool yourself. Bloody favoritism on this show. All right. We're doing another shot, I guess, for Gina, even though she probably didn't do it herself. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Salute.
Oh.
That's the good stuff.
Wow.
Don't worry. I put it back in the freezer.
with cherry halls. Not good. Oh my God.
Is that the stuff you take for your gout?
No, it's cherry pills.
I thought it was cherry balls that you take for your dad.
All right, you can get it to work. Yeah, there we go. There it is.
Do
At
it.
least I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Oh, son of a bee. Hang on. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves.
All right.
Well, I got a heck of a grievance, Bob.
So do I.
I got a heck of a
Waiting for
grievance.
waiting for this video.
I understand that. I'm filling the dead air.
No, that's good. I need to know that. So grievance next. Did Cory have other TikToks for tonight?
I got a couple for you guys. The only
Okay.
thing is, I don't know. I can't get this to go full screen, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how else I could have sent it to you.
Well, that's right. Here, I got it brought up. So let's do
right.
this. Bring it over, and we're gonna have to restart this somehow. Oh boy.
I love how the comments somebody's like, I don't get what the sweeping's for.
In curling? Come on. How do you not? Whoa, what is going on here?
Right?
That's how you do it.
That's
So-
how you do it
so-
right there.
Is this what you're talking about
Yes.
with his? Okay.
Yep.
So
Regarded as one of the greatest curling shot techniques ever.
is that
Indeed.
legal?
Why isn't it?
I don't see
Why isn't it? It's all you got to do is get it released before the line.
No, I get that, but the last time I checked my curling rule book, I don't know
You're curling what?
curling
Okay.
rule book. Holy shit, he got that right in the center too.
Well, when you stop the camera right there, yeah. It's easy to do. Look at all that mad curling pussy he's going to get.
That chick in the cowboy hat was all about it. So does he shoot like that every single time?
Cory,
I hope so.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to bed tonight thinking, yes, he does every single time. Why would you not? Why would you only do that every once in a while?
To get that girl in the cowboy hat to start jumping up and down?
But there's a girl in the cowboy hat every night when you're curling
I'm not
because you're that guy.
I'm not gonna lie.
There's a posse.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't see what
Can you spell that, Bob?
What's that? Posse? P-O.
Pussy. I don't see the advantage you're getting from doing that.
There's probably zero advantage.
It's
probably-
timing. It's timing. You guys don't know shit about Shinola.
it's probably the worst thing you could do.
No, it's the best thing.
But it looks badass, and that chick
It is badass.
jumped out of the
When I was
stands to
curling
give him
in
a
college,
5.
Bob.
Which apparently in Canada, a 5 is great. Normally, in most countries, we give us a
Incredible.
10. But 5 out of 5, I guess you should probably say.
Yeah, that was very interesting. I mean,
That's a
Don't get me
high
wrong.
quality shot. High quality shot.
Did you see what Gina posted? They must have strong arms, a lot of arm, haha, a lot of stroking of the stick on the ice, lol. There you have it,
That's
folks.
a broom, Gina. That's a broom. It's not a stick.
Listen,
Jeez.
she's describing
These
the
curling
stroking. I
neophytes.
don't think you want to critique this too deeply, Todd. I think she's on to something.
Nah.
She might
know
not
me.
have all the technical details down correctly, but she's on to something.
Broomsmanship.
brooms.
Yes. Todd, once again.
Hang on.
Capitalizing.
Now we're just adding ship to the end of everything.
Munship.
Yeah, manship. Yeah. Oh, look at him chug that beer. That was some good drinking manship.
That's a great word, Cory. Hit the button.
Oh man, look at Dad out there cutting the grass.
What is this button he keeps talking
That's
about?
some great grass cutting manship.
Did someone go onto the mixer while I was out and add a "that's a great one" button or something? What fucking button does he keep talking about?
Todd's so blown away by himself. He thinks that we have a button to congratulate him every time he comes up with a word now.
We don't?
Oh my God.
Oh, hey,
that's some dumbassmanship.
That is the button he was talking about. Thank you.
Bob, your stuff's rubbing off on me. You got me coughing and sputtering. What the hell?
It's all that that crazy
all
laughter
that
you got going.
All that coughsmanship you got going on. Gina said, "I'm a broomer on the ice." I don't even know how to take that.
I'm broomer on the ice.
Sounds
that
like
raspberry White Claw must be going down really smooth.
Really smoothly.
I don't do shots at home. My ass.
Oh my God. When is TD coming to visit? 2026. Oh man, there's going to be some disappointed people.
Did you see what I wrote after that?
I did. Maybe for your October. Have we?
Or the month of November?
What?
Month of November.
God, dude.
All right, hang on. Nope, hang on. Here's the deal, Todd. Here is the deal. If you come in for Year of October and their concert when we're gonna go see them live,
I see where this is going.
And
I love it.
I'm making you a shirt.
It says month of November.
This is month of November, and you're gonna have to wear it the entire concert. Concert.
They have to be in the joke. This can't be a take them by surprise.
No. We would let them know.
Yeah, okay.
But no one. Only the band members would know.
Yes.
And everyone else in the crowd.
And he has to go around to people going like, "Have you seen this band? They're amazing."
I'm their number one fan. I run their fan club. You can go to month of October or month of November.com.
Yeah.
Todd Dillon runs that.
Yeah.
Join up.
We will buy monthofnovember.com and redirect to yearofoctober.com.
Yep. I will let you know.
I
would
like
absolutely
10 or
wear
15
that.
bucks.
I'd absolutely wear that shirt.
We'll have them shout him out
that shirt.
as their number one fan from the stage. He flew all the way across the country here for us.
He's got the wrong shirt.
to see month of November.
Dude, if we ever had an Impractical Jokers moment,
oh my God,
it'd be Todd walking around with a month of November shirt at the Year of October concert.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to join his fan club.
The chant. He's trying to get a chant going like month of November. Month of November. What's wrong with you people?
I would almost think too, we could get them to invite him up on stage with that T-shirt on.
Yeah.
To proclaim to everyone in the crowd.
Stranger to stages, Cory. So I think that probably would happen.
I would love nothing more than for that to happen. And for you to get up there and tell everyone.
Didn't you already tell them that you play the tambourine or some shit?
I do.
Yeah,
You're going up on that stage, I got my tambourines tuned and ready to go, bro.
I love how we're making plans for their only Detroit visit ever.
And we're going to be part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, again.
Because after this, I'm going to have to reach out to them over Instagram and go, I hate to bother you, but if you get a chance, can you maybe listen to our latest episode right around, 35 minutes in?
We can clip this out.
Tell me what you think.
We can clip this out and send it to them.
What do you think?
I think that would be absolutely hilarious.
I think, the challenge is, will they think it's funny?
I feel like they would. Especially
if they had heard our pre-production meetings before they were on.
I was going to say we
would still be laughing.
We would have to fill them in on so when we did our production meeting, Todd kept on referring to you guys as, I think it was Year of November, not month of November, but
and I couldn't shake it.
Yeah, and we were very concerned that Todd was going to say that on the show, and but now it's turned into month of November, and oh my God, dude, you just walking around that concert
is month funnier, or is there some other, like, can we do century, or is there some other term that can really just be the
week of November?
Novembermanship.
Jesus.
All right, I retract all of that. Let's stick with month of November.
Month of November.
Yeah.
That's. Gina says the guys who use the broom on the ice when the lady's like, "What do you do?" I'm a groomer on the ice. I broom ice ladies.
There's a lot
Isn't
to
a
unpack.
groomer
there.
a bad thing?
You're thinking groomer.
As when it comes to certain acts that we will not talk about on the show.
But there's a lot to unpack here because she said the word broom twice.
There's a lot of letters.
Somehow
in there.
called him a groomer.
I'm calling bullshit. Gina's doing shots at home right now. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that you could put in a YouTube chat like a voice to text where it doesn't.
A filiburble?
You don't spell check anything that you did. Or
She is big on the voice to text. I'm not
some
sure.
people love it.
I'm not sure if you can do it on.
I'm not one of
a
those
YouTube
people.
Comment.
I don't know. I've never commented on our own podcast.
I mean,
Neither.
Ooh. Well, boys, I think we got a plan for the Year of October concert end of next month. It is end of next month, right?
no, April 29th.
Oh, 2 months. 2 months from now.
Yes.
Perfect. It's in the calendar. Okay, Cory, can we go on with TikToks then? Just say yes.
Sure. You didn't have to wait for me.
Are you ready?
In which Todd asks the universal question, are you ready? Over and over and over again. You would think that it was just a play on words. But it's actually there for a reason.
That's a helly beat, man.
Yeah.
Whoever mixed that is the man.
That's some beatsmanship right there.
Beatmanship.
You're making him regret it.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
I'm going to take his manship and
No,
drive it into the ground.
His manship.
Yeah.
All right. So this first one I got for you guys.
Dude, I hope this goes the way that I think it goes. Like, do they both get shot in the face by some guy with a
So with syphilis. So no,
shot with syphilis in the face?
it can happen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so these are the Kachuk brothers. And again, we all know the tournament's over. USA did not win, but this was after their win. I can't remember who it was against, but it's
not the championship game.
No, not the championship game.
Okay.
It was just prior to, and so there's been a big thing going around on TikTok about people doing voiceovers. Everyone did it with Dan Campbell,
Sure.
with the AI technology that's going around now. Like, you can get the voice pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those.
Oh, maybe it's not.
Hang on. You gotta turn the Bluetooth up.
God damn it, Cory.
I got it connected and everything. Oh, dude, come on.
Here we go. Go back.
They booed our national anthem, so I had to come out and teach those maple syrup eating fucks a lesson. Canada, we own you, lil bro. We don't want Canada as our 51st state until they learn how to play hockey. Sam Bennett and Drew Doty, y'all softer than Charmin Ultra Soft. Me and my brother own Canada. We are Canada's biggest nightmare since Justin Trudeau. Best day in U.S. history since we won World War II.
Well, that didn't age well almost immediately.
I
guess.
know. But I was like, you know what? I got to play it. We've been talking about the Four Nations games.
Yeah. No, of course.
And they were riding a high. And
But I gotta say, like, I wasn't that upset that the U.S. lost because of shit like that.
What? Get out of here. Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right. Here we go back with, so this is an SNL skit.
Now, you know where this is from? The SNL 50th anniversary.
Oh,
Did you watch it?
I have not watched
did.
it yet.
Todd, you did?
And I did. And this wasn't Eddie Murphy is amazing.
Yes.
So this is
his best performance at SNL since he was on the show.
and it's Eddie Murphy and Tracy Morgan, two funniest guys that I've ever seen. And you'll see how it plays out here.
Darius, come on now.
So this is Tracy Morgan.
And look at this. Tracy Morgan. Big dog gonna make some big money.
And this is Eddie Murphy impersonating Tracy Morgan.
Now, wait a minute, Tracy, don't you already have a lot of money?
Well, you gotta have a lot of money if you're gonna live like I live. I eat 4-cheese lasagna. If it only got 3 cheeses, I ain't eating it.
Yes, okay. We hear you, Tracy Morgan.
I refuse to ingest 3 cheeses.
Can you pause it for a second?
You're right, 4 cheeses. We got it, Tracy Morgan.
Oh shit! It was almost over.
It's almost over.
Sorry, keep going.
Thank you.
No,
I thought the clip was longer than that. Like the actual bit is longer.
Skit was longer. Yes.
But it's interesting if you watch that whole sketch. That just watch the other actors. Like I think it was Leslie Jones, who's also on the stage with Tracy and Eddie, and Keenan as well. But at some point, Eddie Murphy goes off script and he just starts improvising.
Yeah.
What Tracy Morgan would say, and they can't. And Tracy and Leslie Jones can't keep it together.
I will have to find that. I'll have to find that clip for the next episode we do.
Definitely worth it.
All right, this one. So these are 2 guys out on a dock. You can tell they just pulled the boat in for the day.
Oh my God! I hope this ends the way I hope it does.
And
it looks like they've had a couple pops.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling
I feel
good.
like someone's getting one of those metal railings right in the dick.
Oh, here you go. so
Well, not quite,
So-
but okay.
So the dude that's still on the boat, he goes to get off the boat onto the deck, and he just bites it, slides and falls right almost into the water, but he saves himself. And look at his buddy right here.
Yeah.
Ish.
His buddy's literally
Holding that fucking spatula as though it was a microphone.
There's no grill around anywhere to be seen.
Yeah.
This guy's holding a spatula for some reason, and his beer in his other hand, and he's just looking down at his buddy, hanging on for dear life.
Because it's too late. What's he gonna do? Get wet?
I mean, he could have grabbed him by the shorts or by the
No, that dude is.
and there he goes.
He hits him with the spatula. Go back, dude, one more time.
He didn't hit him. He tried to reach out with him with a spatula hand.
Well, whatever he
spat-
did,
the
the end result
spatula
was
hand.
he hit him with the fucking spatula. Now, this guy with the spatula is so drunk, he's only wearing socks.
he did go to hit him. He tried to hit him with it, thinking it was going to save him.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody gets off a boat wearing socks and carrying a spatula and expects to be of any use to anyone.
Apparently, that guy.
I think it's just a fact.
No, as Todd pointed out, they were definitely pretty tuned up. But I just loved how he did originally save himself, and then his buddy was like, "You're gone."
Oh, no, another
All right.
one?
This last one is for
Did this come from Todd Dillon as well?
Nope, this did not come from Todd.
What?
This is something I came across on my own, but I know it tickles Todd's funny bone.
Oh, has Todd seen this
So
yet?
no,
Todd,
he's not.
Todd, is this new to you?
I've not.
Holy
new to me.
shit.
So
Prepare yourselves, people, for peals of unbelievable laughter from Todd Dillon.
So Todd sent me a clip from this exact same dog, Choco the Choco Dogger.
See, this is the difference between you and Todd. Todd sent this to you going like, this video made me chuckle. And you saw it and realized it made Todd chuckle. So you're like, I'm going to go to the creator and I'm going to watch every single dog video that he's ever made.
He's got a lot. He's got a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you know way more than Todd will ever want to know about this guy. And you've made it your life's mission now to basically drown Todd in videos like this so he never asks you to play him again.
So Choco Dogger is one of the cutest pit bulls I've ever seen in my entire life. And today he's rocking a fedora and a badass OG dog chain.
That is not a fedora. That is a cereal bowl.
Okay, sorry. I don't know my
That's all right.
crazy hats like that. But here you go, Todd.
Thank you.
So he tips his cap.
Cereal bowl.
And he's excited because he's got, let's see what he's going to be eating today.
You tip the waiter?
Several $100s.
Well, that is a healthy tip.
Kisses the hand.
Inappropriate.
Oh, we've got lamb chops.
That's not a...
I can't remember what it said in the description. I'm just gonna say it's a lamb chop. But he is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, it looks like a duck thigh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was duck confit.
Well, based on the tip, it can't be a lamb chop. It's got to be something way more expensive than that.
It was a duck.
Yeah, it's duck. Yes,
That was 20% of the bill.
You are correct, Todd.
I think he got robbed.
That
love how
dog is
excited
really
his
good
hands
because
are.
if I did that with Bo, I'd lose a hand.
So he loved his duck.
Indeed.
There you guys go.
And the last one I got for you is another Choco Dogger.
That's it.
I did watch another one of the video that they have one of him taking a bath, and that is the chillest pit bull in the history of chill pit bulls. His bath routine is pretty solid.
He is a good boy. He's a very good boy.
They're all good boys.
Who's a good boy?
At the end of the day. All right, Todd.
Yes, sir.
Ready to rock those grievances?
I'm ready to rock the
grievance. You might have just one.
I'm ready. I just
all
got
right,
one.
here we go.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
You know, some might say that I've become better with the buttons on this mixer now that I'm using my right hand to operate it rather than doing this.
At the Festivus dinner,
Is that what you're doing?
Your spanking hand?
Yeah, because it was sitting in between Nick and
all the
I.
ways they have disappointed you over the past
Which, I don't know why you didn't just have it in front of you.
I like to do things the hard way sometimes, Cory.
So you
All right.
jerk off with your left hand?
Listen, if you never jerked off with your left hand, you're not living.
You don't know what's going on.
In fact, take it up a notch, sit on your left hand until it falls asleep, and then jerk off with it.
That's called a stranger.
I know.
Okay.
This is a ticket to heaven, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's like you're not even doing it.
It's like someone
Oh,
you
my
don't even know from
goodness.
around the corner that you never met is doing it. And they don't expect anything in return.
Now I have a TikTok video for that Choco Dogger.
Yes.
you ever go to the doctor and ask him to shoot you up with numbing agent in your left
The
arm?
shoulder down. Yeah. Yep. And then you rig it up with some sort of a pulley system so you can.
I don't even know what's going on here. This is the craziest thing I've ever done.
But I digress. Okay. Anyway, Todd Grievances.
Take it away, Todd.
Notice how Gina's like long ago left the chat. She's like, I've had enough of these fucking
Yeah, I've
fools.
had enough. That
She said
shot
too many.
put her to sleep.
Yeah, she's had too many shots at home now.
That's 100%. She's probably passed out on the couch. Todd, your grievance.
I have a grievance, and it's close to a grievance that I've done in the past. Bob, remember you were particularly mean to me and ripping on me when I had a grievance about how when your fire detectors, the battery's low and the chirp goes off. And then my problem is when the batteries get low on the fire smoke detectors, we have so many of them in the house, it's hard to figure out and triangulate which one actually has the low battery. And so recently we had another situation where at about 3 a.m, we had a chirp began. The chirp began, and it woke me up. And I got up and I was kind of looking around the hallway upstairs, and I thought that I'd identified it. And so I quickly went and got a stool so I could get up, reach it, and pull the battery out and replace the battery. And lo and behold, it was the wrong device. And the bigger problem was I couldn't tell which device it was because a week prior, the battery in our ADT alarm system on the main panel we thought had died. And so there was no way of actually reading that panel to figure out what device was giving you any issues. And there was no way to actually reset it. And so I started replacing batteries. And in the second one, I actually couldn't get to it. And so I pulled it off the wall which started the entire system as if there were real fire in the house. So if you've ever been anywhere where there's like a fire alarm and all the sirens and all the with all the beeping and all that, that happened at 3:15 a.m. in my house, woke everybody up in the house, and probably people, fortunately our neighbors are pretty far away, but if you were anywhere near our house, you could hear it from the outside. It was that loud. And ADT calls me and they're like, well, go to the panel and put in your code. And I'm like, the panel is dead. It's blank. I can't, you guys are supposed to send me a battery a week ago. And they're like, oh, do you have the app on your phone? I'm like, I don't have the app. And they're like, oh, and what's your password? I'm like, it's 3:30 in the morning. I have no idea what my passcode is. And this, and Mary's like, how are you going to get this to, dude? It was a freaking nightmare in my home to get it done. And dude, after freaking finally getting it off the ceiling, getting a new batteries in it, and getting it back up, it finally shut off. And the next day, Mary, of course, is calling ADT. Hey, where's the battery that we ordered? And some guy got the bright idea. Why don't we try rebooting it instead of replacing while you're waiting for the battery? Dude, they rebooted it, and then 2 minutes later, the whole keypad was. I could have avoided the entire freaking mess had ADT done this when we first called in the issue with the control panel. And so my grievance is with ADT and their shitty panel and their shitty customer service. And yeah, that's my beef, Bob. That's my beef.
Yeah, so I want to point out that off camera, Cory said this whole grievance was a bit of a flex, and I think he might be onto something.
A flex? I'm not flexing.
Hang on.
I'm hating.
The multiple alarm zones and direct contact with your security provider.
No.
Dude, I'm a brother man living in the country.
No. When
the country is your compound with your helicopter silhouetted against a mountain range.
Dude, we live in divided times, Bob. We live in divided times. I gotta take care.
Why do rich people always continue to use "we live in divided times" to justify?
And the subtle
They're
flex,
land grabs, Cory.
The subtle flex was when he mentioned, well, I have so many smoke alarms in my house.
Right.
I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, I honestly think
Danielle and I have 4. I can easily walk around each room and go, yep, not that one, not that one, not that one. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think if you were talking, Todd, about me being mean to you the last time we talked about it, I think that's probably why. When you mentioned your dozen and dozens and dozens of smoke alarms, I was like, what the fuck? I've got like 6.
Yeah, that's why I said subtle flex.
Yeah.
That wasn't the intent. But so it seems like the same gentle ribbing that you guys gave last time is surfacing again.
Well, I hear you say it seems like that, but I'm going to tell you it isn't like that. And I'm going to follow up your grievance with a grievance of my own.
I like it.
And my grievance is with the dictionary definition of a top 5 list, and how some people don't seem to understand what that means. And I wanted to revisit.
What happens if there's a tie?
I'm going to tell you what happens. It's exactly why I brought this up, because this happened during last week's episode. We had a top 5 list, and just to recap, in case you didn't hear it, Todd started off his top 5 list with a tie in 5th place, and then a tie in 4th place, but then continued to insist that there was also going to be a 3, 2, and a 1 in his top 5, which actually would have made 7. And I said,
it was a top 5, but there were 2
this
ties.
is my fucking grievance, man. Just sit, you'll get your chance, smart guy. So I said to him, I'm like, listen, the only rule in a top 5 list, well, I shouldn't say the only rule. The number 1 rule is that there should be 5. It is an unbreakable rule of a top 5 list. The only other rule in a top 5 list is follow the form of the list. If it's a top 5 list on top 5 rom-coms, you can't throw in Poltergeist. It's not a rom-com. You're going to get, I think a reasonable person would argue you down. But even then, okay, maybe there's some subjective shit. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But the one unshakable truth is that a top X list, X is the number, that is the maximum. That is not to be broken. Now, what the question that Todd had, legitimate one, perhaps we should have discussed this in a production meeting, but my bad. I didn't realize that we needed to do this. What do you do if you end up in ties? What you do is, because you can only have 5, if you end up in a tie for 5th place, one of those, you don't have to say which one it is because they're a tie. One of them becomes what would have been in 4th place. So you just say tied for 5th, this one and that one. Then you go right to number 3. Right? So if there are no more ties, you got 3, 2, 1, you still have 5 in the list. Now, if you also had, like Todd did, another set of ties, then you go tied for 3rd, these set of 2, and then you're number 1 left. You can fucking give me your mouth fart sound all you want, but that's my grievance, is that that is how the rest of the civilized world handles a top 5 list. And I want this to be on the record for like top 5s going forward, that I don't ask for much, but it's in the fucking name. It's a top 5 list, not a top whatever you think, not a top 7. It's a top 5 list.
I'm by definition, yeah, that's why you should go.
Yeah, you can tie them up however you want.
That's crap.
You can say, I got 5, but they're all the same. They're all tied. That's fine. But as long as there's only 5, problem solved. But you can't go like, and then my number 4 is, no, you already listed 5. A 5-way tie for 5th place. But Todd be like, okay, now number 4, I got 2 more that are tied. I couldn't decide. And then I had number 3. I got 3 there because I couldn't decide there. And all of a sudden, there's 15 entries in a top 5 list, and it's chaos.
No,
Pandemonium.
I had 2 ties and 3 individual winners.
Again, how many were left in your top 5 list? Was it 5?
Well, I don't.
Was it 5?
I had, sure.
No, was it 5?
Because there's 2 ties.
Was it 5? How many individual items were in your list?
7.
2 more than 5. I rest my case.
No, because there are ties.
Grievance accomplished. No, that's not how you handle ties in a top 5 list. I just explained it to you. We can move on. Thank you, Internet, for listening to me. Glad I got that off my chest.
I have a rebuttal grievance.
Moving on, then. I think we're going to go over to... Actually, we've got a shot sitting here.
Yes, we do.
For those of us who need a drink, which are probably all of you after this.
Little Schnozzmanship.
You know, Cory, the mark of a really good joke is to let it breathe and leave a little bit of time between when you last did it. No, this is perfect. Okay. I had forgotten the last time you did it, and it came out of nowhere, and I'm like, kudos to you, my friend.
Well, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Salute.
Ooh-wee.
Oh.
That's that. So, Todd, we switched it up to Jack Fire on that one.
Nice. And that's some caca.
Jack Fire?
No. Bob's crazy ass freaking top 5 rules.
Hey, man.
I would encourage you, Todd, to go look up the actual rules for how the rest of the civilized world does it, and then come back and we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll await your apology.
That's not how they do it in the Greater Maldives.
Again, the civilized world, as I mentioned.
Patrick!
Some sort of...
I think the Maldives are pretty civilized. We got Patrick on now. All right.
Fantastic. Patrick, maybe you can tell us, how civilized are the Maldives Islands? We'll wait. Anyway.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
Hit the button, Bob.
What button does he keep referring to? I'm going to keep going back to this one.
Hey,
oh, boy.
So what we need to do is just clip out him saying hit the button, and then when he says hit the button,
I just hit the button
and hit the button. It's him
done.
just saying hit the button.
It'll be done tomorrow.
All right, perfect.
Yep. Hey Todd, if I were to hit the button that you wanted, what would you then say?
Well, you hit the perfect one each time, dude. You've done it. You've been spot on.
There you go, Cory. I got my audio. I'll just clip out what he just said, and that's what's going on the button.
There you go.
Mission accomplished.
No worries, Patrick.
I wasn't aware that there was a. Why are you apologizing for being late?
And well, I should.
Hold on. When you say 50 seconds, you meant 51st is Canada and 52nd is the Maldives.
Yeah, wait, yeah. We need to know what your idea of the 51st one is.
Yeah, you just jumped right to 52. I mean, I love your enthusiasm and admire your courage, but also we have to fight.
It's actually 53rd, right? What about Greenland?
Listen, one thing at a time.
I mean, red, white, and blueland.
One thing at a time. And did everybody else see, like, after we lost to Canada in the Four Nations, the sign outside that's like, USA, Canada's 11th province, or whatever it was, 9th province. However many they have. Like the Canadian version of that, I'm like, well done. They've been eating shit in the news for days.
We'll still fuck you up, Canada. Oh, so yeah, Canada was the 51st.
Canada's the 51st. Okay. Well, fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right. Boys. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask.
What were you going to ask? It's probably on. Oh, Bob Ross sound.
Oh boy.
Hold on.
Stand on one leg.
There we go.
All right, he's got it back.
I think I discovered the quick Windows operating system on-off button did the trick. There we go. Between all of the other topics, are there anything that we missed?
Well, hey, are we going to do gentleman's agreement tonight? By any chance?
I did not.
You didn't watch it? Okay, that's fine.
But if both of you did, we can do it. You guys can run through. Todd and I have definitely done that. Yeah,
I watched mine.
Yeah, I did.
Bitch.
We can do that.
All right, let's do that real quick, and then I got something to pose to you guys after that as well.
All right, here we go.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Oh, gentlemen's agreement. Oh, it's the motherfucking gentlemen's agreement.
All right. I don't think we need to explain this to anybody at that particular moment. There's most of the people in the chat, if they're still there, have heard this before, so we can go ahead. If you're in the chat and you don't understand what we're doing here, just throw it in the chat and we'll explain it. But anyway, I am sitting this one out because I didn't have a chance to watch mine. But Cory, you had to watch Chaos from Todd.
Chaos.
Yes, like
Indeed.
the villainous organization in Get Smart, which I loved when I was a kid.
Yes.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
Oh, my God, dude.
Oh, you don't know about the shoe phone, bro?
Oh, my God.
I know about
phone
shoe phones.
booth?
I mean, that's been
Missed it by that much.
that's been played through and throughout the years. So yeah, I know those different
References, but you've
Yeah.
never seen the show.
not from that show. But anyway, so Chaos, it's a brand new series on Netflix. So I'm going to keep this very short because it is again brand new, and so I don't want to give much away. But it's basically the modern day telling of the Greek gods in a modern world. And what they're it's not necessarily a fight, but how they
Did you watch this?
yeah
Okay.
yeah. how they interact with humans.
Uh-huh.
And so you have Zeus, the king of all the gods,
Played by.
which that was my next point, played by Jeff Goldblum.
And it's perfect.
And the
I love
perfect.
some Jeff Goldblum.
in the second I saw Jeff Goldblum in it, mind you, I had not looked this up ever since Todd gave it to me last Saturday.
Yeah.
I went to go start watching it today. And when I saw Jeff Goldblum, I'm like, well, God,
Danielle
damn it.
canceled the rest of my appointments.
I'm like, this is going to be something. And yeah, man, it's definitely it's interesting and it's funny. I did chuckle a lot when Prometheus, they cut to him.
Who played Prometheus?
I don't know the actor's name.
I can't remember his name.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
but when they cut to him, because obviously in Greek mythology he was basically imprisoned by Zeus, and so they showed him. And again, I won't even give it away because once they cut to it, I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Stephen Delane.
Yeah, I recognized him, but he wasn't someone that jumped out like again like Jeff Goldblum. Like I said, once I saw him, I'm like, okay, I definitely have to start really watching this, and so I've gotten into the second episode. It's a mini series, and yeah, everything I've seen so far, good pick, buddy, good pick.
Thank you. It was I rolled from I think I assigned it because I think I'm 5 episodes in.
Okay,
it's hilarious.
Yeah,
through and through.
I will say at one point, because so Danielle was in the bathroom, was showering and everything before we were getting ready to come over here, and she came out and she's like, "What the hell are you watching?" And but after about 10 minutes, she sat down and she actually got invested in it as well. And like, I'm like, it's a very interesting show, and it's not a through and through comedy. Not every bit of it is the funniest thing, but you can tell that they're really trying to lead up to something, and there's a good plot line behind it.
The setups for the laughs are, like I said, that's what's not when you're not if you're not laughing, they're setting up a big laugh.
Yeah. It's not like a Always Sunny, where it's back to back. Oh, okay, let's keep like it is a setup to everything, but everything's done very well. And again, Jeff Goldblum. How could you go wrong with that? So, great pick.
Glad you like it.
Great pick.
Thank you. Glad you like it.
All right, Todd, you had to watch Saturday Night by me.
Saturday Night Fever, I thought it was.
No.
Damn it, Jim. Just kidding. I watched Saturday Night, the telling of a movie on Netflix about the first episode of Saturday Night Live. And the timing for assigning this to... So did you assign this to me, Bob?
I did.
Dude, 2 weeks in a row, you got an A. I know you got an A+.
Just thinking about that.
Last week,
I've had 3 assignments in a row to you, but only one of them last week was an A. You're giving me another one?
I'm giving you an A. It is because the timing was perfect. I think you picked the perfect thing. I watched the show leading up to them broadcasting the very first episode in its entirety of episode 1 for the 50th anniversary. So I actually saw that episode prior to watching the movie last night. And the movie, in my mind, I give it an A, and I think that everybody should see this movie, whether you like Saturday Night Live or not, because it is a true, and I know that it's been sensationalized a bit for television and for, again, laughs and just, again, because it's a movie. But did some research and read some of the things that some of the cast members said. And the lion's share of the things that happened leading up to them going and launching the first Saturday Night Live actually did happen, which is amazing. And it's I think what I pulled from it is the amazing resilience of Lorne Michaels, the amazing connection of Lorne Michaels to the people that he surrounded himself with, the amazing ability that he has to spot talent, and then just being laser focused on getting a thing done. I think in my professional career, that's one of those are the traits that I've always tried to embody. And this movie shows a person when you're passionate about a thing and things go wrong, there's always an opportunity to give up. And if you watch this movie, you'll see he had about 7,000 opportunities to give up, and there wouldn't be a Saturday Night Live today. And whether you love it or hate it, just what he put together and what he built based on what happened that very first day and the headwinds, and then and a lot of that is sensationalized. Again, this is spoiler free, but I would recommend this to everyone. Straight up A, Bob. And then actually, I can't remember the quote and again, so since there's no spoilers, there is an exchange between the actor who plays Chevy Chase, and Milton Berle, which I've heard now is sensationalized. But the line that he dropped on him about the back of his mom's teeth,
I don't think it's
is one of the greatest. That is one of the greatest rips in the history of calling out somebody's mom.
I can't believe that I had not counted on you watching the episode that, most of this is based on, the preparation.
I saw Billy Preston sing "Nothing from Nothing," and that was played by John Baptiste. I saw the whole thing front to back. That opening sketch, because again, I remember watching that. And again, I'm trying not to do any spoiler, but there was a delay when Belushi makes his entrance in the live show.
Right.
And I'll leave it at that.
There's so many details that that this documentary, this movie gets right about what actually happened, that, they may fabricate or blur some details or make up some stuff to glue different scenes together. But for the most part, there were so many different things where I'm like, oh, I saw that happen, and this is the explanation for why it happened that way. I hadn't counted on you also watching, that first episode. So that's awesome that you did.
It was all tied together, and an absolutely amazing pick. And like I said, I think if anybody's ever having a bad time and they're wondering what they should do next, they should watch this movie and just, again, perseverance. The perseverance in the dictionary should have Lorne Michaels' picture next to it. And the way that he spoke to people when there were other higher priority things going on, and people would sound like, "Lorne, what about?" And he's like, he would take time. Even and Jim Henson. Oh my God.
Oh, that poor man.
Well,
like,
and
that's
now
got to be based in truth.
Absolutely, because actually, I was going to say that again, not spoiler free. I thought that was one of the worst of the skits from the early days, but now I know why.
Right. It just happens to be the time because it's the 50th anniversary of SNL. They just had their 50th anniversary episode, like a 3-hour extravaganza where they brought back a whole bunch of stars from way back when, along with current cast members. And Cory just showed you the Black Jeopardy sketch with Kenan Thompson and Eddie Murphy and Tracy Morgan. But if I feel like people that are closer to age than me and Todd grew up with Saturday Night Live, and even people who are a little bit older, would have been old enough in 75 when the first season came up to understand it and enjoy it. So maybe not so much the younger people, but it's definitely worth your time. And now is the time where if you go on Peacock or I think you might even be able to get it on Hulu. There's a great documentary by Questlove on the musical history of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And there's another 4-part documentary about SNL just in general that has, each part is, one is completely dedicated to the cowbell sketch. One is dedicated to the lost season where Lorne literally fired everybody and pretended like the studio burned down, but only saved one cast member, and basically everybody else got fired. It's really, really interesting, and probably contains some stuff that you didn't know, but if you're a fan of the show, it's definitely worth your time.
And if you're not a fan of the show, this movie is, again, the perseverance.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it sucks too, because I was right at the tail end of when I was pretty young. I remember catching some Saturday Night Live episodes, and like it was still really good. I mean, yeah, there was really none of the original cast left, obviously, but it was funny as could be. And now that time's gone on, and I've continued trying to watch the SNL, I'm like, it's just not. It doesn't hit like it used to.
But it goes in waves.
In some ways,
right?
they do. The Che and Joe's relationship.
Well, yeah, that's.
And not for nothing, I didn't realize they know. I guess I Saturday Night Live after the Weekend Update sucks. And they know that. That's like part of the shtick.
Well, that's not the plan. The plan is not for it to suck. The plan is generally there's something that's always been long, like for decades, known as like the 10-to-1 sketch. The 10-to-1 sketch is where they throw all the shit where like you almost didn't make it there, but you got a crazy idea that just barely might, like Lauren might go like, yeah, just throw the 10-to-1 spot. And it's usually something that's so batshit crazy that sometimes becomes like a legendary sketch. But a lot of times it turns out to be just dog shit at the end. Obviously, the strongest stuff is in the front of the show before Weekend Update. But,
Yep.
you know, the show has a formula that it's followed for a long, long time. I will say, like, I grew up loving, like, Phil Hartman and John Lovitz and Dana Carvey and that whole crew. And when Phil Hartman was killed and people moved on, they hired in like Sandler and Spade and Rock and Farley and all those people, and that kind of carried it in. Mm-hmm. And that kind of got me to the point where I'm like, okay, and then those guys started to leave, and I'm like, well, that's it. They're going down the shitter. And then Will Ferrell shows up. And all of a sudden, I'm like, who is this dude who has no fear of any sketch? And so every cast is going to be, you know, there's going to be some winners, some losers, but
yeah,
I found like in most casts, there's at least one person where I'd be like, okay, that person's got something.
True. I'll give you that. But it like I said, from what I remember, you know, being younger, that there was a lot of like awesome episodes, and now,
yeah,
like I said, it's just like, it's not to me. It's just not as good. But that's my own opinion.
But I like
still
going
find
back
nuggets
to
of gold in the new stuff as well.
I do too. But I also like going back to stuff that I didn't discover. Like I didn't realize when he was on the show how much I love Will Forte and how insane and what a good performer he was. The sketches that he did with the spelling bee, where he's thrown up there and he has no idea how to pronounce the word, and he pronounces the word, and it takes him like literally 7 minutes to pronounce this word. On air.
Wasn't Will Forte in the who was like the emo, or like the punk rock?
Stefan.
Stefan, yes,
that's Bill Hader. Yeah,
Bill Hader. Yeah.
And the genius. Hold on, there we go. Okay, back again. Maybe I should have charged this. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so yeah, Bill Hader was due Stefan on Weekend Update, but the sketches would be written by his lines would be written by John Mulaney, and the conceit was they would do it in dress rehearsal, like Saturday early evening, and then they would break and they would come back at 11:30 and do it for real. But in between that, Mulaney would write a couple of new lines, but would never tell Bill Hader. And that's why he would break.
Him off guard, yeah.
And he hated to break. Like he broke so much as that character, you would think that, oh, this is something that he's like, oh, you got me again, but he fucking hated it. But Mulaney just kept on doing it.
That Stefan was again, as far as recent times, that probably one of the best sketches that they've had. For me, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I could probably go on and on about it, sketches that I love, but I feel like that's not where we're going. That's not where we're going here. Was that the question that you had about Gentleman's Agreement, or is there something else you wanted to talk about?
No. Throw the music up.
Throw the Gentleman's music up?
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to find it again.
No. Existential.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay.
That's not what you texted to me.
Oh, did I say Gentleman's Agreement? That was my bad in the text then.
Okay, so we're existential question.
Yeah, my bad.
Existential question of the week.
I'm actually glad that you meant, because I'm like, I've seen these notes. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was my bad.
All right, okay. All right, floor is yours, sir.
So, as you mentioned prior, you were not on the production meeting this week.
I was unavoidably detained.
So Todd and I had a very good, long conversation, and one of the things that
Have
came
I been
up,
holding you back? Is that what happened?
I think so. Our production meeting was actually very productive.
About time.
But no, so one of the things Todd brought up that I think this is a great question that we have never, ever covered or even thought about. What has been your best bar night ever? The one that you look back on and you're like, holy shit, I can never, ever recreate that, even if I tried. And you just happen to stumble upon it.
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, I may have to think about that.
If you want to think about it.
Well, you guys have been thinking about it for 4 days now.
We sent you the notes. Get out of here.
I didn't see him until just now. Until you started the show.
That's your
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Todd.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that's when I saw them.
Yeah, no, we sent it to you.
Which you've definitely known about it for 4 days.
Yeah, which we sent it to you 4 days ago.
I get it. But you know who knows the answers better than me? You two fuckers. So why don't both of you field it while you're doing it?
No.
I will attempt to formulate an answer.
I've definitely got mine.
Okay.
I got mine.
So this would have been circa 2011, maybe 2012.
That's a long time ago.
And so
didn't even have cell signal back then.
I had a friend that I worked with. His sister was coming in she moved from out of town back to Michigan, and it was her like 40th birthday or something. That it was a milestone birthday, and he felt bad because she didn't have any friends back here because she had lived out of state for so long, and so he asked a bunch of us like, hey, would any chance you guys would want to come out and hang out for my sister's birthday just so she can have people there on her 40th, and I'll obviously introduce you guys and we'll have a good time. So yeah, no problem. So at this point, I was still living in Dearborn, and he tells me the party's out in Mount Clemens.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, that's a hike. And it was like in the middle of January. So I'm like, well, yeah, if it snows or anything like that, there's no way I'm going to drive out to Mount Clemens and hang out and have a good time and try to get back to Dearborn. So Zeke, that has been on the show, Dave Ezekiel, our good buddy Joe Guido, and our friend Amy Koss, we all decided that we were gonna go out there and hang out for our buddy's sister's birthday. And once I brought it up to Joe that was out in Mount Clemens, he's like, well, dude, I'm not driving out there like that. But he's like, I got a hookup with Entertainment Express, a limo company in Dearborn. He's like, if I throw a few free pizzas their way, he's a proprietor of Jets Pizza. He's like, if I throw a few pizzas their way, for different parties they have and all that, he's like, I could probably get a pretty sweet hookup on a limo. I'm like, all right, let's do that. So we plan on taking the limo out there. And in the in-between time of when we already planned on taking the limo out there, Joe came up with this idea that we should go out there because we don't know anyone out there. We don't know. The only person we knew was my buddy that I worked with. And he's like, so Joe's like, you know what? We should go out there and say we're a band.
Yo, okay. Yeah, all right.
And I'm like, all right. Like, yeah,
I forgot about the name of the band.
I don't know how we're going to do this, but so for the 2 weeks in between, Joe bought flat rimmed hats, DC shoes, all these crazy things that you would wear in a band. And he also happened to have a bunch of credits on a drum website that he would go to. They also would make t-shirts.
Of course.
So he got 100 t-shirts made up, and our band name was Cory's Hat. Because I had given Joe a bunch of old hats that were disgusting and I didn't want to use anymore, but he would wear them at Jets while he was working.
It's so stupid.
So he came up with the band name Cory's Hat. So we loaded up in the limo down in Dearborn. And on this day, it was snowing very hard. It was a downfall of snow. So we drive out there and we pull up to the bar. And now that I do live on that side of town, there's a couple different places that we passed that I'm like, I think that was it, but I can't exactly remember the exact bar. But either way, we pulled up in the front of this bar in a limo, and the limo driver couldn't even turn in the parking lot because it was such a tiny parking lot. But there was this huge picture window in front of the dance floor and where the entire birthday party was at. So they all saw us pull up in this limo. And we got out. We had our Cory's Hats t-shirts on, our flat-rimmed hats, looking douchey as could be. I had 2 cell phones that weren't even working in my hand. We walked up to, and there was a bouncer working that night, and he looked right at us and he's like, "Oh no," he's like, "You guys are fine." And it was like a $15 cover or something like that night. He let us walk right in. And I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "This might actually work." Mm-hmm. So we get in, we're hanging out for a little bit, start mingling with the crowd. And Joe comes over with a tray of like 50 shots.
50 shots?
Dude, literally a huge waitress tray with shots just all over this tray.
And he bought all these shots?
I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that. He's like, "Oh, I didn't." He's like, "The bartender gave them to us because
you're Cory's hat.
Because we're in a band." I was like, "Joe, no, dude, come on." He's like, "I swear to God, man." He's like, "She just gave them to us."
Did the bartender think you were playing at the club that night? Like we're going to be performing later?
How would you perform with that many shots?
Well, they were for the birthday
Guns
party
N'
as well.
Roses did it, Todd. Just let him tell the story.
We had good shotsmanship, Todd. So we passed all these shots, and now people are really starting to pay attention to us.
Yeah.
And at one point, there was these 2 girls sitting with two guys. For some reason, both the guys got up and left to go to the bathroom at the same time. Joe and I went and sat down with the girls. And literally, the guys came back out of the bathroom and left. They didn't even come back over the table to sit down and talk to the girls. And they're like,
"Okay,
well, we guess we're going to hang out with you guys for the rest of the night." We're like, "Awesome." So we're hanging out there for a while. Finally decide like, oh, it might be time to change locations. So we tell everyone like, "Hey, you guys want to get in the limo?" And of course, who's going to say no to a free limo ride? We packed so many people in this limo, went down to this Irish pub, walked in 35 deep, and they were just getting ready to close.
Yeah.
The bartender sees us walk in, and so we also brought obviously other shirts with us to pass out to people. He sees everyone walking in these Cory's Hats t-shirts, literally kicked everyone else out of the bar and let us stay. And he's passing out pints of Guinness to everyone, passing out shots to everyone. It was probably going on 3:30 in the morning when he's like, "All right, like, yeah, it's probably going to be, time to call it."
Oh my God.
Like, all right, cool. No problem. So we get back in the limo, take everyone back to where they need to go. And again, this was so many years ago. There were married chicks in the limo that were like, "Oh, well, here's my business card. Like, give me a call. Let me know where you're playing at. Where you guys going tonight? You guys got a hotel room." So, and our premise was we were banned out of Chicago, and there was a lot of stuff that went down the limo that probably shouldn't have.
Jesus.
But when we got
pre-internet,
so Todd, so I've told this story a couple of times before, and it was just on the verge of like our phones were like BlackBerries, like so you could kind of get the internet, but throughout the entire night, Todd, throughout the entire fucking night, not a single person ever asked us to hear one of our songs.
Well, you didn't have any instruments with you.
No,
well, but who could have played it on the radio?
Yeah, you got a CD.
You got a cassette in the limo.
No, not a single person ever once asked us.
Did they ever ask you like what kind of music you play? Like what instrument do you play, Cory?
Oh, so we already had that set up.
Okay.
So I was the guitarist. Joe was the drummer. Mm-hmm. Dave was lead vocals, and Amy was our band manager.
Okay.
And
I'm not buying it.
Todd,
I don't blame you.
Todd, we can call Joe.
Your guitarmanship sucks.
Oh yeah, I can't play the guitar for shit. I'll give you that. But dude, at no point during that night did anyone ever ask us to hear one of our songs or what we play. Like we're like, oh yeah, we're like kind of like a punk rock band, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It went off without a hitch. And I don't again, obviously today,
wow,
there's no way you'd ever be able to do that because some people go, oh yeah, well, pull up one of your concerts on YouTube or pull up one of your songs on YouTube.
Right.
And apparently this was just on the verge enough to where people weren't really thinking about that. So yeah, we totally got away with it.
You think there were a number of industry bigwigs who the next day spent a considerable amount of time trying to track you down?
Oh, probably.
And your management and your representation. How do we book them in an interview?
We're nowhere to be found.
Cory's what?
Because we told them too. We're like, yeah, we're in the Detroit area looking at different venues to play at, and so we're kind of just scouting stuff out and this and that. And no one ever asked that one, because if someone would have asked that one single question, that would have totally,
the whole thing would have fallen apart.
It would have totally
like
killed the entire. We would have been like, we would have no answer.
Joe, did you leave them all at home again?
We brought all the T-shirts, but not the CDs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was by far.
You're a smoothie. You are.
That was operator.
I got to give it to Joe. He was the one that came up with the idea, and
all right,
it went off without a hitch.
We gotta move on and pass it over to Todd. Todd,
Do we gotta?
I mean, if you want to answer, you can pass.
I got mine. So, and I'll try and keep it brief. I'll probably tell us at another time as well. But so the best bar night ever in my life took place. Just to save, I'm not going to mention. I'm going to change names so that nobody gets in any trouble.
Protect the innocent, absolutely.
Yep. And I'm not going to give you the year.
I'm going to call him Rob Bankin.
No, actually, you weren't there. This was a trip that I took to Frankfurt, Germany.
Yes, you're right. I wasn't there.
Yes, I'd been working in Frankfurt with a coworker, not named Bob, and we decided, because we had torn it up at the bar pretty good the night before, that we were headed back the next morning. So we were going to take it easy. We were just going to grab a bite, a good dinner, share a bottle of wine, and then go and get to bed early so we could catch our flights back home. And what unfolded was we had an amazing dinner at an Argentinian restaurant, and one bottle of wine turned into 3 bottles of wine. Plus the owner of the restaurant sent over 4 shots of grappa. At which point there's no way we were going back to the hotel. So we went to a bar right across the street. So we finished dinner and we were feeling really, really good. And we said, let's grab one more bottle of apple wine at the bar across the street.
Always a good
outdoor.
idea.
Yeah. And so we sat down, order our apple wines, and we're sitting there just kind of just thinking how great dinner was, how great the trip has been, not knowing that it was going to turn into one of the best bar nights ever. Next thing you know, we're sitting there drinking our 3rd apple wine, and a group of women come by. And one of the traditions in that part of Germany, at least, was a bachelorette party. So they're all on their bachelorette pub crawl, and they take donations from people that they run into. They'll do a drink with you, and you give them money like pre-wedding gifts. So there's this group of probably 12 women, and my buddy and I are sitting at the table. And so, of course, we're gonna donate to the fund. We buy them some drinks. We do a shot with them, and they're getting ready to go to the next pub, and they invite us to come along on this pub crawl. And dude, we stopped at about 3 places before we finally land up at this huge outdoor kind of bar space where there's like maybe 7 or 8 different bars all in the same like alley type place. And it's a weekend night, and there are probably got to be 500 people in this outdoor space just partying, and we're hanging out with the bachelorette party. We run into a bachelor party, and we kind of get passed off from the bachelorette party, and we're hanging out drinking beers and talking to this bachelor party. And the next thing you know, we end up at a strip club. And crazy. Crazy. So we end up at the strip club, close said strip club, and get invited to the after party with the strippers and members from both the bachelorette and the bachelor party. And I got to, along with one of my buddies, hang out with and party with the talent from this and I forgot to kind of share that the strip club we went to was actually like the front side was the for the ladies and the back was for the men. Dude, we stayed out all night long, had a gazillion drinks, and it was one of the greatest bar nights of my entire life. And the next morning, I'll never forget this. I woke up the next morning and the king size beds in where we were sitting in
my
Germany.
dick was stapled to my chest.
No, even worse. The king size beds is actually 2 twin beds, and I had like sunken in between there. I was like laying just on my back between these 2 mattresses, and I look up and I see a plane going by the window, and I'm like, I think that's my flight. And I call my buddy. We missed our flight back.
How is that worse than your dick being stapled to your chest?
I missed my flight back home, bro.
No, I heard you. I'm asking. I mean, unless your dick was stapled to someone else's chest.
Yeah,
Cheers.
that would be
Cheers,
better.
everybody.
That's called a win.
One of my greatest bar nights ever.
That's called
I'm just saying. I woke up.
That's called the Toledo Zookeeper.
I was like,
That's
whoa.
what that's called.
Whoa, what's going on here? I'm like, that was a good night.
Oh shit.
Well, Todd, I think
Right,
we need to take a flight out to Germany and try to recreate that night.
I know.
We can't tell Mary and Lori and Danielle. That's all.
All right. If I try to give my answer here, I'm going to try to do it in less than 3 minutes, and then we're going to end the show.
All right.
Okay.
Do it to it.
Do it.
Okay. So for a little bit of background, I got married in 1997 in October. And as I've mentioned in the show before in the past, I had a certain predilection for entering and winning radio contests.
This is true. I
the point where
I do remember this.
89X DJs identified me in the air and called me a prize whore. I was winning so much. So one of the prizes I won was in December of 97. We'd only been married for a couple of months. And I won tickets to go to a movie premiere in Hollywood. So they flew us out there. I went with my wife at the time. They flew us out there and they put us up in the Roosevelt Hotel, right down by Grauman's Chinese Theater. 2 nights. And the second night was the premiere at Grauman's. So we had tickets to go see Scream 2, the movie premiere at Grauman's, and we walk in, and we're walking literally down the red carpet with all of the stars who were in Scream 2 and anybody who's famous who wanted to be at this premiere. And literally, I ended up hitting the bathroom on the way down to my seat, and I almost fucking knocked over Tyra Banks going down the stairs to the restrooms.
Hey, yeah, Todd. Oh, almost. Bob was trying to catch a free grope.
Exactly.
He's
nice flex, Bob.
Yeah, so
Nice
sorry,
flex,
Eggs. So sorry I fell on your
So
boobs.
sorry, Tyra.
I can't believe Todd's calling me out for a flex, given his previous flexing on this particular episode. Anyway,
But it's Tyra Banks. That's a whole different flex.
so we're sitting down there, and we're literally sitting in a auditorium, like a movie theater style seating, like rows away from the entire cast of Friends, the whole cast of the movie, the director, all these other famous people who aren't in the movie. They introduce it. We watch the movie. Fucking amazing. And then we also have tickets to go to the after party, which is at a club that is across the street. Everybody just walks across this red carpet that crossed the street and down into the subterranean club that they have there. We end up at one point I was sitting on the steps of this club, like the interior of the club, talking to David Arquette, who's in the movie, because I had
Wait, who?
David Arquette.
Never heard of him.
I like
So
it.
so he's in the movie. Look him up.
I'm kidding.
So
I'm kidding.
I was going up the steps. He was coming down the steps, and I'm like literally like walking at each other. And I'm like, David, amazing job in the movie. He's like, really? You think so? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what was your favorite part? And we literally sat down and we had a conversation about what I thought about the movie. He didn't know me from, I was nobody. fucking
No, you're Bob B. Branken.
fucking amazing moment. And then at some point we ended up walking into like a spin-off room where there was music being played. There was a bar in the corner, but everybody's just kind of mingling around. And my wife and I were standing there, and I fucking look over, and I'm like, do you know who's standing right next to you? She's like, no. We're like right behind you, Matt LeBlanc. And she fucking turned. She's
Joey?
like, no, he isn't. Turned around. It's fucking Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and Lisa Kudrow from Friends. Yeah. All just hanging out, listening to music. Just like I could have fucking touched them.
Nick
but
just
you're like,
himself.
Be cool, be cool, man. But there were so many. You're just like you didn't know where to look or to sit. And at one point, the only other thing that happened that was really cool was I actually ran. I stopped at. We had a table. We went to get a table. You all right, Todd?
I put his comment up on the screen.
Cory's manhole. We went to go get a table, and then I went to go get a drink, and like literally like 4 tables down from us was Wes Craven, and a bunch of other people had a table there, and I went to go get a drink, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Wes Craven!" And I went to, and I'm like,
Dracula dude, right?
No, that was Francis Ford Coppola. Wes Craven did fucking tons of fucking horror movies. I don't know why I'm not thinking of any of them right now because I'm blanking. But I went to the bar, got the drinks, and I came back, and I'm like, go fuck yourself. You're not walking past Wes Craven and not saying something. Like, you're never, ever going to get this opportunity again. So I stopped, and I'm like, hey, Mr. Craven, I was so blown away by this movie. Like, I'm so glad to see you back on top with horror, and I think you did such a great job. And he's like,
Nightmare on Elm Street, and
he's like, oh, thank you so much. What was the thing about the movie that impressed you the most? It wasn't like a dismissive, like it was like one question he asked, and I was like, gulp, and I tried to answer the question, and I spluttered out my answer, and he's like, oh, thank you so much, and I went back to my to the seat. I'm like, here's your drink, whatever. I just have to think about this for a second. and then the next morning we flew home, and it was the single greatest night. And like I will never again be around that many famous people.
Oh, all at once, yeah.
All at once, of people that were the number of people in that movie who were at that party who I didn't talk to, but were literally like within. I could have hit them with my car keys. So close to me is amazing. People that went on to be like, maybe weren't much at the time, but went on later to become like major stars. Unbelievable. And I
have one question for you.
I kept looking over at Christy, and I'm like, fucking radio contest, bitch. Don't ever forget how we got here.
Exactly.
Toddsmanship.
Yeah, one question.
So who did you do coke with?
That was my pre-coke years. So I'm sure there was coke being done. I mean, Matthew Perry was there, so I'm sure there was lots of shit being done. But I didn't see it. I must not have been going in the correct bathroom. So,
and Todd, don't let him fool you. Just like Tyra Banks, when he saw Lisa Kudrow, he was like, "Oh, sorry, I slipped."
She never did much for me.
I was going to say Aniston before Kudrow.
Yeah, if Aniston had been, oh my,
or Cox.
Yeah,
at the time, yeah.
But
I don't think that she's aged as well, but at the time, Courtney Cox was amazing.
It sounds like they weren't there, Todd. So
yeah, it was just the lesser of the three females.
You had to take the long neck giraffe.
Yeah. So that's my story, boys. Ready to wrap
nice.
it up?
Very nice, sir.
All right. On behalf of Cory and Todd, this is Bob. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We love you. See you next week. Peace out.